Yes, so greetings again. This is about Pakistan. I know, and I may not even know, those people who have been oppressed a lot, immensely. Please bear with me. I've been tortured again for a few days, even more than before. And I eat up my words and I can't speak properly, slowly, but I have to send this message, wondering who this witch is. One day it's on this, another day it's on that. Now all of a sudden I've remembered that my grandfather, maternal grandfather, had married a Punjabi, but then he divorced her. Since my grandmother was his first wife, she couldn't take it, so he divorced her, the Punjabi one. He divorced and just had my grandmother as his wife. So who has been reaping havoc, hell? I've been wondering who has been doing this to us. There could be many people. They just made our lives hell. And there are some people who dismiss black magic, but I was told when I called this particular man, a religious man, Shia, in Lahore, he told me that my symptoms were very rampant. This has happened to many Pakistanis. And so he gave me these du'as, prayers from the Quran. He told me that a lot of Pakistanis were suffering from these symptoms. So I told my father, and my father said that since he's from Lahore, he should know better. It could be happening a lot. Sorry. There was and is a lot of tension, and I've just can't get over this as yet. And about my mother too. My mother's case was messed up by Dr. Farooqi Ahmad, another Punjabi, residing in Sindh, Karachi. And I don't know what kind of therapy was done to my mother, but it was really weird. Whenever she would come back from Dr. Farooqi Ahmad's therapy, she would go really out of her mind. And she would say that she preferred to go to another psychiatrist that she had, but unfortunately he had for some time gone to Canada. So my mother was really, really messed up. And there was no way we could take action against Dr. Farooqi Ahmad, who had told me that her case in the court in Karachi, she fought like anything. She's beyond the highest lawyer there at that time, Advocate Brohi, Mr. Brohi. So this lady, Farooqi Ahmad, quite smart, she fought her own case and won it. So these people, what can we do? Even the courts can't do anything. Even the lawyer, the biggest lawyer there at that time couldn't do anything because of this Punjabi lady who did her PhD from Stanford University in 2.5 years, 4 years degree. So she was saying against my father that your father is a miser, always talking like this against my father, and that my mother had to go to her for the rest of her life and my father has to pay for her therapy for the rest of her life, as long as my mother is alive. Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad made me cry, telling me that my mother's illness, mental illness, is forever. And on the other hand, saying how much they are Muslims. So if we had just had some faith in God, but these fellow Muslims, they are crooked, they are unfaithful to their own religion. Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad has said that she doesn't pray to God, she does her own work instead of praying to God and asking from Him. A believer but does not have faith in prayers, in the power of prayers. A believer in herself, seeing how many people who she does therapy on, that they could have ruined their own lives. She has no compassion, no understanding heart for the gone crazies, insane. But who did this to them? She believes that we have done it to ourselves. And the Sindhis don't have a reputation of being mean and violent as the Punjabis, I've heard. And these regional divisions that have come up in Pakistan for their own destruction. They don't want to accept this, yet this is rampant there. How these conniving, cunning people in their professions are betraying weak people. Had Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad gotten married at 13 and gone through what my mother had gone through, this is the plight of Pakistan. Never did I experience a Sindhi making our lives miserable, a Pathan hurting us. Can you believe this? Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad doing Stanford University's PhD in psychology and had given me Serenus without the tamarind, and my hands were going up and down and I couldn't stop them. So it's not allowed for a psychologist to give these prescriptions, these psychiatric prescriptions, and that too to a 17, 18 years old or 16 years old. So this Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad thinks she's very intelligent, and she wouldn't even allow the person, A.K. Khan Clinic, to be there, I was told. She was giving problems to that clinic lady, doctor. So much so that the doctor had to remove herself from being opposite to her house, Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad's house. Let me tell you, only psychiatrists are eligible to prescribe drugs. That's why they are called psychiatrists. And Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad was not eligible to prescribe this psychotropic drug to me or to my mother. The other therapist had to send me to a psychiatrist so to see if I needed a psychiatrist medication, psychotropic Dr. Eva Hassan, even after doing her PhD from Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad's clinical psychology. These people, like Dr. Farooqzi Ahmad, may have an experience, but they are not by law eligible to prescribe drugs, especially the psychiatrist drugs. They have been toying with our lives many, many years, my mother going there. I thought it would be better if she went to this therapist called a pioneer in psychoanalysis in Pakistan. But it turned out to really go against her health, my mother's health. What a terrible, horrid joke.